Blitz, all right. Jason Nathanson following Comic-Con for us all weekend. Good morning, Jason.
Hey, good morning, guys.
All right. Any big breaking news coming out of Comic-Con that we should know about?
Big breaking news? I don't know. I mean, along the lines of the past couple of years where we saw that big Batman versus Superman announcement, or last year the big Star Wars panel where Harrison Ford came out, there wasn't really that kind of thing. This year it was really just more back to a normal Comic-Con where it was about bringing the fans stuff that they wanted to see, but it was really, you got to be into that kind of Comic-Con world. So, yeah, there was a lot of news from the Marvel front on casting news on Black Panther, and Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o's joining the cast there. They announced Brie Larson is going to play Captain Marvel, who's the first female-fronted superhero movie from Marvel, which will be out in a couple of years. But, I mean, is that really big, broad news that everybody cares about? I don't really think so. I mean, that's more for the fanboys and girls.
All right, so Captain America is a woman? Did we know
Captain
that?
Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Is that
Captain Marvel? Yeah, this is a female character who's been a female character for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty cool that the woman who just won the Oscar for Best Actress for the small movie called Room,
right?
Is going to play her. So that's cool.
Did I also see something about Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that was, I mean, when we're talking about footage coming out of Comic-Con, that was definitely one of the highlights that had a lot of people just kind of losing their minds. We saw the first trailer for Wonder Woman, which is out next year, I believe, but it looked very cool, and for the first time we saw the lasso of truth, which is all golden. She's on her, she takes her shield, and during one fight, she slides across the floor. Again, cool stuff, but you got to kind of be into this to enjoy it.
Right.
The good thing was, and this was from DC and Warner Brothers, and the good thing they did, all the stuff that they showed at Comic-Con, they released immediately online, so everybody around the world had access to it. Marvel, on the other hand, showed a lot of footage, especially new stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy. And if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, there's a great clip that they showed introducing Baby Groot, which, if you remember the first film, this was the big tree character, and now he's a baby. And I won't spoil why, but it was fantastic. Marvel is not releasing that stuff, at least not yet. So you had to have been there to actually see it.
Mm-hmm. Who's playing Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman is Gal Gadot. She's an Israeli actress, very tall. I think she was like Miss Israel or something a couple years ago. And we saw her in Batman versus Superman. She was in there. So we've seen her before.
Gotcha.
But this will be the first time she gets her own movie.
Ha. All right, good to know. They ended it with Pokemon, which is getting a lot of attention. What's that all about?
There was so much Pokemon. I mean, people walking around like looking like little zombies on their phone, just, not paying attention to anybody. And I got to say, it was so hot and humid, unusually hot and humid in San Diego, that the mix of the costumes and people sleeping out overnight and running around playing Pokemon made for a very smelly Comic-Con, smellier than normal, because I think of all the perspiration that was going on.
Sure, certainly, yes.
There was one woman in one of the panels. I literally had to move 2 rows back because of the odor. It was so bad.
Interesting.
But so people were playing people were really into Pokemon. They ended with a big Pokemon panel. You know what? I had enough of Comic-Con by that point, so I missed that.
The weirdest thing you saw besides the smelly woman 2 rows ahead of you?
Oh, geez, the weirdest thing I saw. Oh, man. I was, you know what? Surprisingly, I'm not even ready for that question. Because I gotta say again, it was kind of a tame Comic-Con.
Yeah, all right. Except for the smell.
It wasn't one of those things where you saw a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, there were some cool costumes. The guy dressed as a bug, but honestly, it's the kind of thing at Comic-Con where you want to be as obscure a character as possible. That makes you cooler for some reason.
Yes.
So I didn't know 90% of the costumes that I saw.
Maybe if you looked around and no one was weird, you were the weird one at Comic-Con.
You know what? That's always the fear, right? So, yes. Probably as the normally dressed radio reporter, that's pretty strange to a lot of people.
Jason Nathanson, ABC News correspondent. Jason, thanks for checking in.
You're welcome, guys.
756 KTRS.